space horror. So I'm just going to read the prologue. So, 4 suns blazed gold in the crimson sky, hovering in a haze over ink-black hills lining the horizon. People pressed shoulder to shoulder at the Lamarckian docks. No matter the class, caste, or creed, they all became one, watching and waiting for the Nagelfari to launch. The most remarkable feat humanity had endeavored to accomplish in over a century. Valia stood on her tiptoes. Even at this distance, she could see the top of the large exploration ship, a massive hill of sloping black metal. If Lagu Logistics were successful in their attempt to find water in the rings of Catalia, the crisis could end before it truly began. Already she daydreamed of a lush sunroom full of plants, never having to fret over lack of water credits again. Dust kicked up from under her boots. She wriggled and squirmed to find a comfortable position. Valia pulled her scarf over her nose so she wouldn't choke on the tiny particles, then wrapped it around her head, trapping her dense brown curls. A slim air filter was embedded in the fabric and fixed over her mouth. Those jostling around her, shoving just as hard, turned to glare down at her for doing the same. She glared back, then shuffled out of their way. Sweat slicked the inside of her gloves. The gray desert jumpsuit protected against the sun's fierce rays. Precious moisture wicked away from her skin like a traitor. At least there was still water within the sphere, for now. She looked back at it as if to check to be sure. The port resided outside the safety of its walls, so the ships could come and go with ease. If it were not for the shimmering glare of the suns, the near-transparent curved walls of the sphere would be invisible. From Valia's position on the surface, the sphere appeared to be a dome, but its sacred walls continued beneath the arid soil to cradle the inhabitants in its eco-control system, never too hot, never too cold. Topsiders lived and worked in the city while the Grundlings toiled underground. They tended the hydro pipes, the lifeblood of Lamarck, and grew food in unseen laboratories. Air churned, whipping grains of sand against the exposed skin of her cheeks. She dropped her goggles to shield her eyes and faced the horizon. A new ship hovered overhead. Its sleek metal sides glimmered iridescent as an oil slick. The Sesromir sank below her line of vision, landing behind the gargantuan Nagelfari. Valia's breath caught in her throat. Valkyries. Her older brother Kelvin jostled to maintain his position amongst the clamoring bodies and bumped her shoulder. He grinned, brown eyes sparkling. A thin coat of yellow dust settled on the black scarf covering his dark hair. What are Valkyries doing here? She raised her voice to be heard over the din. The crowd isn't that rowdy. The mission is too high risk. They'd be insane to go without one. Are you ready? Called a booming voice from somewhere unseen. The sky overhead shimmered. A hologram materialized, revealing Ivar Lofison, the chieftain of the sphere and head of Lagu Logistics. Braids decorated his neatly trimmed beard. Tattoos of runes, snakes, and the snapping jaws of wolves scrawled across the sides of his neck and face. Aye, the crowd cheered, Valia included, pumping their fists to the sky in a singular undulating wave. Excitement mounted. The will of herself melded with the will of her people, all chanting as one. Lagu, Lagu, a cry for water that was no longer a dream or a desperate plea made with parched throats, but soon to become a reality. By the will of the gods, Nagelfari would return to announce water could be mined from the Catalian rings. Not only would their thirst be quenched, but a new host of jobs would spring forth. Lamarck could thrive again. Her voice drowned in the sea of the many, but still she screamed for salvation. Lagu, Lagu. With a great whoosh and sucking of air, the Nagelfari began to rise. It rumbled and shook the ground, so that she and all around her stumbled and struggled to hold steady. The Nagelfari eclipsed the 4 suns, casting them in its mighty shadow. All Lamarckians stared wide-eyed and slack-jawed as it gained altitude. It humbled them like insects beneath a boot. For something so large, it took to the sky with a grace and ease previously unknown, like a fish sliding through water. The vast ship became a dot in the sky. It soared in the direction of the stars, never to be seen again.